got some news regarding Bundesliga, which is the German soccer league. They have announced that they are going to be placed in mandatory quarantine for the rest of the season. Now, basically, what this is going to be, it's going to be kind of like the NBA bubble, Nate. And the reason why they're doing this is to prevent more suspensions from happening. So I'm gonna list basically what they're gonna be doing with this process. So basically, what they're gonna be doing is two stages meant from May 2nd for match. 32 players and staff will only be allowed to leave their homes for training and matches. So basically, that's the only time they're going to be leaving their home. They're not allowed to go in any other places besides exactly what I just read. Um, then from May 12th, they will move into a biosecure training bubble based away from home and will only travel 4 matches, which will reduce the amount of actual traveling and actual, COVID cases that are going on. The less you travel, the less you kind of, the less you get, the less you travel, the less chances you have of getting COVID, and the less chances you have of passing it around. Basically, that's basic common sense. I'm not gonna explain anything else. They will be moving into these biosecure training bubbles based away from home, and again, they will only be traveling for matches, and then limited room for the season of until May 23rd. That's the finish date that they want, due to the rescheduling European Champions League, and they hope that these measures will be good enough for them to finish the season off on time. Now, before I pass it on to you, Nate, the source for this was Tom Hamilton, ESPN senior writer. So I'll start for you first, Nate. Your thoughts on Bundesliga being placed on mandatory quarantine for the rest of the season?
Well, first of all, best of luck to them moving forward. I would, hope everybody's all healthy there. I understand why they're doing it. I know the NBA bubble, like you said, the NBA bubble did it last season. Um, and obviously, I'm all for it, except for one thing: not leaving your house altogether. And the reason why I say that, well, obviously, with the NBA, can't go to clubs and things like that. That's fine. But what if it comes an instance where, like, say your wife isn't home or your husband, and you're not home and you need something to cook, and you run out of that thing. You need to go get that thing, right? Because you want to cook, you need food, but you can't get that. You know what I mean? We're athletes. We don't want to eat fast food and be fat. No offense to you, but that's just my saying. But like, basically, what I'm trying to say is, sometimes there are certain instances where you kind of have to leave the house. Like, you run out of food and there's no one else there to get it. You kind of got to get it. I'm not gonna starve to death because you can't. You told me I can't leave the house altogether. So I mean, I look at it like that. But other than that, I do understand why they're doing it. It's just a house thing. I think they need to tweak that a little bit because, like, it's kind of hard to tell an athlete to sit down all day. An athlete always wants to go out and do things, but I'm not saying go to the club and go to the strip club and go to the boom boom room. I'm not telling you to do that. But I'm saying, like, if it comes down to a situation where your wife or your husband or your kids aren't home, and those are the only people. If you're gonna tell them not to leave the house, those are the only people that can really go out and get food and get the groceries, things like that. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like if a situation like that were to happen, I really do think they're allowed to leave their house to at least get that one thing and get out and go back. That's just me. But other than that, I do understand why they're doing it, and I don't really got a problem with it. It's just that one thing that I feel like needs to be tweaked a little bit. So, with that being said, best of luck to every team, competing in the championship or whatever it is, the playoffs, whatever. Best of luck to the players and coaches, and I'll pass it on to you, Mario.
Yeah, I mean, for that little time they're gonna be at home, I completely agree with you, Nate. They're gonna have to have there's obviously necessities, food, um, and also all sorts of other stuff, that they're gonna have to leave their house for. I hope that the only other like thing that Bundesliga could do is have people provide that for them, but I agree with you. That should be a little bit that home thing should be a little bit tweaked too as well. But yeah, I mean, I do agree with it, Nate. These are the actual protocols that have to be happening. The last COVID case that they had, it happened with the club Hertha Berlin, where they were placed on a 14-day quarantine after 4 positive cases on the club. So yeah, like I said, again, COVID is still going around. I know there's people who are getting vaccines. I understand that, and they're getting vaccinated, but still, there are a lot of people who are still catching it. Um, which is why they had to go through this type of process. And I completely understand it because they're trying to finish it in time for to start the European to start the what do you call it, Euro League. They're trying to finish it on time, which was the same problem that the NBA is having this year. They got to finish this. They got to finish this season on time before the Olympics start, because we still have players that are going to be in the Olympics this year that have to go to Tokyo to play in those Olympics. So they got to get that done. Simple as that. But yeah, I completely agree with this. I think this is an precautions that they need to take in order to continue, in order to finish this league on time at the pace that they want to finish it in. Again, it's going to be very tough for them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players decided not to go to the NBA bubble after it first happened because they didn't want to be away from their families. I think I'm gonna start hearing about that. A lot of players, soccer players, opting out because they don't want to be away from their families, which is completely understandable. They have like health risks and they don't want to like expose that. I completely understand it. Um, but yeah, Nate, I do agree that these are the actual precautions that they're going to have to take in order to get this league finished on time. But again, with that being said, best of luck to Bundesliga and all the 18 teams that are a part of it. And I do wish them the best of luck in finishing the season on time.